The best teachers shine a light on something within us that we already know. And I heard that quote this morning and I really dig it. It was basically maybe slightly worded differently, but the best teachers show us things within ourselves that we're already aware of. Shine a light on those things. And I concur. I can agree with that. I think that that goes along with my view of gurus, teachers, shamans. And one thing you'll notice about most of the best of them is that they don't advertise it and they don't capitalize on it. True healers and shamans and I guess true channelers, if there are things, such things, but they are the ones that are true to their heart aren't doing it for money. They're doing it because they feel it's their duty, and many of them it's like a second job for them. That being said, I wanted to talk about channelers for a minute. This is something that I've been, I guess I like to watch and observe channelers and what they're channeling. But when I do watch it, I'm watching it like this. Arms folded, eyebrow up. I mean, it's a very skeptical view. In fact, I even had one of my subs send me a personal message that said, Bashar, really? And I couldn't figure out what they were talking about. Well, it's because I was watching one of those Bashar videos, and I think I commented on it. I find that guy to be pretty funny, and he is, I do not believe that he's channeling any entity. I believe that he's channeling his subconscious, and all of our subconscious. Let me try to give you kind of a breakdown here so to know where I'm coming from. Channeling is nothing more than modern day prophecy. It's just a new name given to prophets. The prophets of ancient times did the exact same thing. They claimed to converse with, well, obviously they weren't calling them Pleiadians back then, or Syrians. They just used the word God, or whatever they used for God, Yahweh, whatever word they chose. The belief was that they were channeling something superior, something that was beyond us. At that time, I'm sure they all had their own interpretations of what they were channeling, but these channelers got us books like the Bible and the Quran, and many of these ancient texts were written by people who had these experiences. Now, I don't want to belittle the experience because I don't have the right to do that, but I do think that I have the right to hold a rational skepticism towards these channelers. I've read multiple articles, I've listened to multiple channelings, and I have looked at the studies done on people where they have multiple people ask to channel the same thing from the same person, about the same person. And they're widely inconsistent. There seems to be no standard. This is just like the reading tarot cards. There are many different ways to interpret them. Or just like going to someone to interpret your dreams. If you tell someone your dream, say, "Oh, I was running away from this big fire or something," and they might say, "Well, you have some sort of an issue that you need to deal with that's burning you," or the metaphors are endless for this kind of stuff. So, so what is the question here? Are the channelers for real? And from what I've gathered, most of this and much of this tends to be a very subconscious thing. This one guy was asked about the Archangel Michael, who a lot of people claim to channel Michael. One guy claimed that there are 10,000 or 1,050 souls on Earth right now, living people who are part of Michael's essence or spirit, whatever it may be. This is because there's so many people channeling the same person. And you'll notice a lot of the channelers claim to channel famous people, or people who were scientists, or people who were spiritualists, or gurus, whatever it might be. I find that to be a little suspicious. I can't help it. But here's my main point here, is that if these people are for real, please give us some information that we can use. And this is my biggest point. It's not that the information that they're giving is necessarily flawed or wrong all the time, but it's useless a majority of the time. When you listen to these channelers, they tend to tell us things that we already know, like that we need to, that the human race is suffering, that we're not going along the right path, that we need to love our fellow man, that we need to live in the light of truth, that we need to be honest with ourselves, that we need to develop values, we need to build integrity, we need to help each other, love each other, we need to fix the earth. All of these things are, to me, no more different from each other than the Ten Commandments, which can be broken down into basically two. Be a good person, harm no other. I mean, that's really the root of the teaching, is to, use your common sense in life. And I think that people know when they're making mistakes, when they're not being a good person. So we don't need a channeler from another cluster of stars or another galaxy to tell us that we shouldn't hurt one another, or that we shouldn't hurt ourselves, or that we should just be kinder, So what it comes down to is that often the channelers are telling people what they want to hear. They will always tell people what they want to hear and what they think that they need to hear. And the same thing goes for psychics, many of the psychics. Now, I don't want to feel like I'm just sitting here bashing psychics and channelers, but if we're going to make this into something that is expected to be believable and that people can use to better their lives, it has to be something that's confirmable. And so many years of study into these things have brought us no closer to really understanding how they work. But it's my belief that we are channeling our own subconscious and as well the collective consciousness. So I think that when these channelers are speaking, they're speaking through the minds of everyone. So it's not that they are special, it's that we're all special, and they have a better receptor perhaps that can pick up, or maybe it's not a better receptor, I don't know. I just don't know. I'm not a channeler, but all I can see is what I view from the outside as a rational skeptic, and I see that most of these predictions, prophecies are all failed, utterly. I've been watching these for 5 years now, and every time they say, oh, here comes Ashtar Command, and they're going to save us, and they have these people draw these pictures of these guys standing in these space suits that look just like us, and white guys with long blonde hair, and big spaceships, and beautiful symbols, and all this stuff. If you ever get a chance to go to one of these conventions or see one of these people, you can see the types of folks who conjure around these ideas, and the silly things. Like I was hearing one guy say he went to hear one of these people speak, and inside the lecture hall itself they've got a bunch of tables with crystals, and they're trying to sell you all these cards and crystals and special little sticks and stuff. And it's like, if we're really channeling alien beings, I mean, do I need to go any further, really? I mean, we need some sort of solid evidence that this is even worthwhile, because people's delusions can go far and wide, and I know how far my mind will carry me if I want it to, so I'm very cautious with my mind. But if I wasn't, and if I was the person who maybe was locked away for too long alone with my own thoughts, it'd be easy to think that all my thoughts come from somewhere else rather than my own subconscious. I just don't know what to think of it. And for anybody out there who thinks that I'm being offensive or whatnot, thinks channeling is real, I welcome you to present me any real channelers who have given us anything that we can work with, or any prophecy that can truly be decoded to help us. Not just the what ifs or maybes, We're talking about people claiming that an alien race is trying to assist humans to be better. So we need to know more than just be a good person. Anyway, I can only cover so much of that, so hope you're all doing well.